Guys, the next Federal Reserve chair could trigger a massive shift in how money works in this economy. And if this changes, everything changes. Let's get right into it. Here's the situation. Jerome Powell's term as chairman of the Federal Reserve ends in just a few weeks. A Fed chair is nominated by the president and typically serves a 4-year term as chair. Powell was originally nominated by President Trump back in 2017. Now, Trump has nominated somebody to replace him. His name is Kevin Warsh. And here's where it gets a little interesting. The DOJ, Department of Justice, was just investigating Powell for ethics concerns tied to financial disclosures and trades and all that. But that investigation was recently dropped by the DOJ, which removes a major roadblock and helps clear the way, clear the path for Warsh's nomination to pass through the Senate. Because understand this, a Fed chair does not just get the job, right? They must be confirmed by the Senate with a simple majority vote, which is 51 votes. So this is now moving forward, and it's moving faster than a lot of people think, right? This is not just noise. This is a specific change in the Fed's direction that we all need to be paying attention to. Now, here's why all this matters for all of us, okay? Most people think that the Fed is just about interest rates. No, the Fed controls the cost of money, the flow of money, and indirectly, the Fed controls the direction of assets across the whole spectrum of the economy. Stocks, real estate, crypto, bonds, all that stuff is created by the policy of the Fed. And that policy usually follows the ideas and thoughts and opinion of the Fed chair. So let's talk about the man, Kevin Warsh himself, because our money could be affected by his thought process, okay? Kevin Warsh is not new to this thing. This guy's been inside the Federal Reserve before, okay? And he comes from financial markets. So this is somebody who understands Wall Street. He understands policy, apparently pretty well, okay? But here's the thing about this Warsh guy, all right? Warsh is expected to run what they call like a monetary barbell strategy when he becomes the Fed chair. Let me explain. On one side, Warsh is probably going to lower the Fed funds rate, right? He's going to make interest rates lower. But on the other side, he's probably going to be wanting tighter control of the Fed's balance sheet. That combination is different, very different from what we've grown used to in the last 8 or 9 years under Jerome Powell, okay? Let me simplify all that, okay? Here's what it actually means. Warsh may want to make borrowing money cheaper for all of us, but he doesn't want the Fed just out there printing money like the Fed was doing at the start of the pandemic, if you all can remember. That's a big shift in ideologies. Let me take you back for a second, okay? At the beginning of the pandemic, everything stopped. Remember? Spending came to a halt, right? Nobody was spending money, couldn't go here, couldn't go there. Businesses had to shut down or shift, right? Banks got overly cautious. Money was not moving at the very start of the pandemic. So what did Jerome Powell's Fed do? They stepped in and literally created money out of thin air. They used that money out of thin air to start buying bonds from banks, which did two things, right? One, it gave banks more cash. Two, it injected more liquidity into the economy. At the same time, the Fed was printing money out of thin air and buying bonds and injecting money into the economy, the Fed also lowered the interest rates to near zero. Cheap borrowing. So now you had cheap borrowing and more money available in the banks that they could lend. That combination was designed to do what when the pandemic started? It was designed to stimulate the economy. Get people out there spending money again. Get the banks lending money again. Keep the money flowing. Because listen, if money don't flow in America, the whole system shuts down. Businesses shut down, right? So they had to keep the money flowing even though nobody was out there spending. This is why if you was breathing, you could get a PPP loan, right? But now we look back and we know that the end result of all of that was this incredibly high inflation that we saw into the year 2022. And all those bonds, let me explain this to you. All those bonds that the Fed bought with the money that they printed out of thin air, they added those bonds to their balance sheet as assets, making their balance sheet blow up, which took their balance sheet from around $4 trillion before the pandemic to almost $9 trillion in less than about a year or two, right? That's real. That happened. And that's how this whole thing with high inflation happened. Over time, the Fed started letting those bonds roll off their balance sheet to slowly shrink their assets. And just in case you didn't know, watch this. A bond is a loan that is to be paid back by the borrower at a future date, right? That's what we think about when we think about bonds. Well, the bonds that the Fed bought during the pandemic, they don't have to be paid back. The Fed just lets them roll off their balance sheet. Let that sink in for a second. It's like the money is all fake, but that's another video for another day. So that was the playbook at the beginning of the pandemic, right? But this new Fed chair, Kevin Warsh, based on everything he said, interviews and all that good stuff, wants something different than that. He doesn't want that. And this is where people are going to get this thing wrong. Lower rates is good for stocks, real estate, business growth, spending money, right? That's the part that people celebrate with lower rates when it comes to these lower rates, right? But here's what most investors miss. Kevin Warsh, this new Fed chair, he doesn't believe in aggressive quantitative easing. Let me simplify that, okay? Everything that I just talked about what happened during the pandemic, that's called quantitative easing. It's when the Fed creates money and uses that money to buy assets like bonds, adds those assets to their balance sheet, right? Just like the whole scenario that happened at the beginning of the pandemic. That's quantitative easing, or QE. And as we said, QE was done to push more money in the system, right? More money in the system means easier borrowing, more spending, but Kevin Warsh is not a fan of doing that at that scale, right? He's come out a lot of times and talked against the QE that took place at the beginning of the pandemic. He doesn't believe in massive money printing. He doesn't believe in ballooning the Fed's balance sheet. He actually wants to reduce the Fed's balance sheet. And this is where the real money reset is about to happen. In simpler terms, Warsh believes that the Fed should step back, sort of laissez-faire, hands off, and let private markets handle adding liquidity or money to our economy. Now, what does that mean? Private markets means banks, investment firms, institutions, investors, not the government. Okay? So instead of the Fed stepping in and flooding the system with new money that was created out of thin air, Warsh appears to be more of a fan of the private sector providing that money. The government steps back and the market takes over. That's how Kevin Warsh appears to think. Now, here's the wild card in this. Warsh believes also that AI could increase productivity enough to allow economic growth without inflation. Hear what I said there. AI being used to take over jobs to allow economic growth because you don't have to pay AI as much as you have to pay salaries, right? He believes that that's going to help economic growth without inflation. Now look, if that's true, then great, okay? We could see lower interest rates and stable prices at the same time. Perhaps it's a shift from the way Jerome Powell, who runs the Fed in a very, very conservative way, who looks at a ton of data, who tries to predict the future. Like Kevin Warsh is not doing any of that, right? It's a different environment with money that's coming up. But here's the risk, okay? Not everybody agrees with Kevin Warsh's approach. Let's be real, right? Just a couple days ago, you had Senator Elizabeth Warren drilling him on the floor in Congress, right? Questioning Kevin Warsh's independence and questioning what is your real net worth, right? In the hearings that they had. And she questioned whether or not he would follow the White House too closely. And here's the other thing to think about. Inside the Fed itself, he may face some resistance, which is rare, okay? Most times, the Fed chair doesn't face much resistance from the others that sit on the FOMC, or the Federal Open Market Committee. That's the committee that decides the Fed funds rate at their meetings, 8 times a year. Typically, what the Fed chair believes is the direction that the whole committee goes with, typically. But that may change, okay? So here's the deal. What should you do with all of this information, okay? Some takeaways. This is what matters, okay? Rates may come down in the next year. Matter of fact, rates may be lowered later this year. We'll have to see. But because of everything I read about Kevin Warsh and his policy and what he believes and interviews I've listened to, money printing the way that we were printing money and buying bonds and doing this QE thing at the beginning of the pandemic, that's not coming back, okay? Not in the same way. Markets may rely more on private capital instead of the Fed just out there willy-nilly printing a bunch of money out of thin air, okay? But remember this, guys, this could increase volatility too during this whole transition and new approach of the new Fed, okay? The stock market, we know it does not like chaos. So we as investors, we got to be ready for more volatility perhaps in the stock market, okay? Keep dollar cost averaging and keep sticking to whatever your investment plan is. But your job is to pay close attention to what's going on with the bigger picture of money, okay? This is why you don't chase headlines. You understand the systems that's going on. Because when the systems change, like we're about to see in the Fed in the next couple of weeks, the opportunities for us as investors can change too. The bottom line is this, guys. The next Fed chair is about to change everything. We're about to see our money reset. Look, if you don't have a system for your money, your personal finances, I built the 4-step financial reset to help you. Develop your system, your own system for your money. It's a focused course along with 3 small private group coaching sessions. Enrollment for the 4-step financial reset is open right now. Click on the first link in the description box below and join us in the next reset that's starting in just a few days, okay? My goal here with this video is to bring you this information about the larger economy in plain language every Sunday. So I hope I was able to do that for you regarding this next important shift in the policy of the Fed because of who it looks like this new Fed chair is going to be. If you got value from this video, do me a favor and drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts on the new Fed chair. Hey, the best person who's going to take care of that old you is the young you. Until the next video, peace.